My dear, there is one sentence, and when a man says it to you, it can completely change the dynamic between you two. By the end of this talk, I will reveal exactly what that sentence is and why it has the power to turn a man who was only circling around you into someone who is fully drawn to you. But before we get to that, you need to understand something basic that will completely change the way you see and handle relationships from this moment forward. I will talk to you directly without sugarcoating anything. At my age, I don't have time to make truth sound nice. Here's your first practical lesson for today. If a man shows interest in you but never really picks you, then you should not pick him either. It really is that simple. Keep that close to your heart. That's not a lack of self-love. It's pure emotional intelligence. And if you stay with me for a few more minutes, you will not only learn what men actually say when they are truly interested, but also how to tell right away whether they see you as a priority or just another option. And before we go any further, if what I've said so far has touched you even a little, leave a comment below and tell me where you're watching from, whether it's Mexico, Colombia, Spain, or anywhere else in the world where women are tired of settling for scraps. And if you know someone, a friend, sister, co-worker who needs to hear this, share this video with her. What we're talking about today isn't just for you. It's for all of us, reclaiming our personal power. Let me share something that has become very clear to me after more than 40 years of working with people, listening to countless stories, and watching emotional ups and downs. Women are incredibly smart when it comes to solving hard problems, planning ahead, and reading between the lines. But when it comes to understanding the signals of a man they like, this intelligence often seems to disappear. Do you know why? Because something called confirmation bias kicks in. In simple words, you see what you want to see. When you like a man, your mind desperately searches for even the smallest signs that he likes you back. A text at 11 p.m. suddenly feels like a love confession. A quick glance becomes a cosmic connection. A casual, we'll talk later, sounds like a promise of a shared future. My dear, that is not intuition. That is self-deception dressed up nicely. I'm not telling you this to discourage you. I'm saying it so you can wake up from the illusion. If you want healthy, mature relationships where you don't have to beg for attention or plead for clarity, then here's the uncomfortable truth that very few people will tell you. A man who is truly interested in you doesn't make you guess. He doesn't keep you waiting until he feels like talking. He doesn't appear and disappear like a ghost in the night. A man who really wants you is clear, steady, and makes you feel chosen, not lucky that he remembered to text. And this isn't just romantic advice, it's biology. When a man is emotionally invested in you, his brain releases oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, a chemical storm that naturally pushes him to seek you out, spend time with you, and put energy into your connection. He doesn't need reminders or to be begged. His nervous system pulls him toward you. That is how desire works biologically. So, if you find yourself always reminding him you exist, always starting conversations, always struggling to keep his attention, let me gently tell you this. He is not truly interested. He's bored. He's available for distraction, but he's not choosing you. And you deserve so much more than to be someone's backup plan. However, that doesn't mean you should act like a frozen statue and wait for men to fall at your feet. It's not about playing games or using manipulative tricks you read online. It's about something much deeper, much more powerful. It's about choosing yourself first. When you choose yourself, when you decide that your time, energy, and self-respect are not up for negotiation, your energy changes completely. And I don't mean vibes or some abstract law of attraction. I mean something very real. When you value yourself, you give off confidence. And confidence, my dear reader, is the strongest attraction there is, far stronger than any expensive perfume or revealing dress. A man can sense when a woman knows her worth, knows what she wants, and knows what she won't put up with. And trust me, that shakes him in the most delightful way, I've seen it thousands of times in my sessions. A woman comes to me heartbroken because the man she's been texting for months suddenly disappears. She questions herself endlessly. What did I do wrong? What should I have said? How could I have kept him from leaving? And then, at some point, she lets go. She stops chasing someone who doesn't appreciate her and starts focusing on herself, her goals, her life. And often, that very same man reappears. But here's the twist. By then, she is no longer interested. In letting go, she has discovered something far more valuable: her own power. A woman who knows her power will accept nothing less than what she truly deserves. That is real transformation. It's not about getting a man. It's about becoming a woman who only accepts men who rise to her level. And once you reach that point, everything changes. But let's return to the practical side, because I know you're listening and thinking, yes, that sounds great. But I want to know what men actually say, do, and how they act when they're truly interested. That's exactly what we'll break down now. And if what you've heard so far has opened your eyes even a little, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel, because we post honest, direct content like this every week. You won't want to miss a single thing. So what does a man say when he is truly interested? Here's the first clue. Often missed. A man who is truly interested talks about the future. He uses words that include both of you. He talks about plans and things he wants to do with you. He doesn't promise castles in the sky or trips he can't afford, but he brings you into his vision of life. He might say things like, "Next weekend, when we go there, we could," or "I want you to meet this person." These small statements are powerful. They show he's including you in his world. This is key, because men who are just passing through never talk about the future. They stay in a vague, comfortable present. We'll see. Or maybe later are red flags. A man who takes you seriously doesn't keep you in limbo. Next, a man who is truly interested asks questions, not just polite ones like, "How was your day?" but real questions about your story, dreams, fears, and what makes you laugh or annoys you. And the most important part, he remembers what you tell him. Here lies the difference. Any man can ask questions to be polite or to fill silence. But a man who truly cares remembers your answers. If you told him 2 weeks ago about an important meeting, he'll ask how it went. If you mentioned a favorite music style, he'll send you songs in that style. If you shared something that's been bothering you, he'll check in later to see how you're feeling. That, my dear, is true interest. That's a man who actively gathers emotional information about you because you matter to him. The difference between a man who is truly interested and someone who's just passing time is huge. And now, let's talk about something that confuses many women: communication. There's a common belief that men don't like to talk, that they're naturally quiet. And yes, to some degree, it's true that many men aren't as verbally expressive as women. But here's the truth. When a man truly cares or is genuinely interested, he finds the words. He might not write you poetry or give long dramatic speeches, but he shows how he feels. He tells you he likes you, that he enjoys spending time with you, that you're on his mind. He doesn't leave you guessing for months about whether he's into you or if you're just a friend with potential confusion attached. A man who genuinely wants you in his life makes it clear. He talks about plans and things he wants to do with you. He doesn't promise castles in the sky or trips he can't afford, but he brings you into his vision of life. He might say things like, "Next weekend, when we go there, we could," or "I want you to meet this person." These small statements are powerful. They show he is including you in his world. This is key because men who are just passing through never talk about the future. They stay in a vague, comfortable present. We'll see. Or maybe later are red flags. A man who takes you seriously doesn't keep you in limbo. Next, a man who is truly interested asks questions, not just polite ones like, "How was your day?" but real questions about your story, dreams, fears, and what makes you laugh or annoys you. And the most important part, he remembers what you tell him. Here lies the difference. Any man can ask questions to be polite or to fill silence, but a man who truly cares remembers your answers. If you told him 2 weeks ago about an important meeting, he'll ask how it went. If you mentioned a favorite music style, he'll send you songs in that style. If you shared something that's been bothering you, he'll check in later to see how you're feeling. That, my dear, is true interest. That's a man who actively gathers emotional information about you because you matter to him. The difference between a man who is truly interested and someone who's just passing time is huge. And now, let's talk about something that confuses many women. Communication. There's a common belief that men don't like to talk, that they're naturally quiet. And yes, to some degree, it's true that many men aren't as verbally expressive as women. But here's the truth. When a man truly cares or is genuinely interested, he finds the words. He might not write you poetry or give long dramatic speeches, but he shows how he feels. He tells you he likes you, that he enjoys spending time with you, that you are on his mind. He doesn't leave you guessing for months about whether he's into you or if you're just a friend with potential confusion attached. A man who genuinely wants you in his life makes it clear. And if he doesn't, it's either because he's unsure or because he doesn't want anything serious. And in both cases, your answer is the same. Move on. Another thing men do when they are truly interested, and this is a very telling sign, is they introduce you to their close circle. They bring you to meet their friends, include you in social events, and talk about you to important people in their life. Why? Because often, without realizing it, they want their choice to be approved. Men need approval from their surroundings for the woman they care about. It's part of their bonding process. So, if you've been seeing a man for months and you're still a secret, if you don't know anyone in his circle, if his social media shows him alone or with friends but never with you, that tells you something very clear. It's not about shyness or valuing privacy. It simply means he doesn't see you as an important part of his life. You can make excuses, rationalize, or invent explanations, but the truth stays the same. Accepting it early lets you make choices that protect your heart. Since we're talking about signals, let's discuss something many women get wrong. Intensity at the start. You meet a man and everything feels like a whirlwind. He texts constantly, compliments you endlessly, wants to see you all the time, makes you feel extraordinary. You get swept away because after a long stretch of emotional emptiness or lukewarm relationships, it feels amazing. But here's the catch. That intensity is often not love. It's fear, a chemical high from something new, and when the high fades, he disappears or becomes distant. This happens because some men don't fall in love with the person. They fall in love with the feeling of being in love. They love the chase, the excitement of the beginning. But when it comes to real life, commitment, and building something lasting, they lose interest. My advice, be careful of sudden, intense attention. A mature man, one who knows what he wants, builds interest slowly. He is steady and reliable, not a firework that burns bright for 2 weeks and then disappears. He's a flame that glows steadily. Now, something you should remember deeply. It will save you heartache. Pay attention to how a man treats you once he no longer has to impress you. After the courting phase, when he's no longer in seduction mode, that's when you see the real person. Does he still treat you with respect? Does he include you in decisions? Does he make you feel valued? Or does he become careless, selfish, indifferent? I've seen this 1,000 times. Most men can show their best side during the chase. But the man who truly belongs with you is the one who treats you well when he no longer has to prove anything. That's the man worth your time. The one who treats you with love, not to win you, but because he genuinely values you. And since we're discussing appreciation, let's tackle a common question. How do you know if a man respects you? Respect is the foundation of every healthy relationship. Without it, nothing lasts. You can have chemistry, passion, and attraction, But without respect, a relationship is either doomed or will become emotionally harmful. Respect is shown through actions. A man who respects you listens even when he disagrees. He doesn't interrupt, mock, or belittle you just because your opinions differ. He values your time. He doesn't cancel plans at the last minute without a reason, show up late regularly, or make you wait hours for a reply while clearly online. He protects your reputation. He doesn't talk badly about you or share private details. He honors your boundaries. If something bothers you, he respects it. He doesn't manipulate you emotionally to get his way. A man who respects you stands by you. He doesn't leave you alone if someone insults you. He doesn't stay silent when others speak badly about you. And here's an important point. Respect is not something you negotiate or beg for. You set the standards from the start. You decide what you will accept and what you will not. You enforce them with actions, not just words. Saying you won't accept something means nothing if you stay when it happens. Many women make this mistake. They set boundaries on paper that collapse at the first challenge. Then they wonder why men don't respect them. But no one respects boundaries that you don't respect yourself. If you say you'll leave when limits are crossed and then don't, you lose credibility. And in relationships, credibility is everything. Ask yourself honestly, do your actions match your words? Saying, "I deserve respect," is one thing. Acting as if you truly believe it is another. Acting with belief means speaking up when something is wrong. Stopping someone when they cross a line and walking away when a man doesn't treat you as you deserve. Simple, yet so hard. I know how hard it is to let go of someone you're drawn to, someone with whom you share special chemistry. But here's the truth. It is far more painful to stay with someone who doesn't value you than to leave someone who isn't right for you. The pain of staying is slow. It wears you down piece by piece, reducing self-worth and making you question if you truly deserve more. The pain of leaving is sharp but short. It hurts in the moment, but afterward comes freedom, clarity, and peace. And now we reach what I promised at the beginning, the sentence that, when a man genuinely means it, signals a major emotional milestone. But first, understand the context. Men are generally less emotionally expressive than women. Many have been raised to hide vulnerability and avoid seeming sentimental. That's why this moment is so meaningful. When a man breaks through that barrier and says something that opens him up emotionally, it matters. I'm not saying you should melt over every compliment or excuse bad behavior with nice words, but certain statements show a man is connecting with you on a deep level. One statement often overlooked is, "You make me want to be a better man." Listen carefully. When a man says this, when he admits that your presence inspires him to improve, to grow, to change, it is incredibly powerful. At that moment, he is giving you real value in his life. Men don't say this lightly. They don't say it to someone they are just passing time with or see as a temporary distraction. They say this to the woman who challenges them, inspires them, and pushes them to be better than they were before. And that, my dear reader, is a clear sign that you hold an important place in his emotional life. But be careful. Here's the subtle difference. Just because he says it doesn't automatically mean he's yours, or that you should hold on to him as if he were the last man on earth. It means there is real interest and connection. But moving from that to a truly healthy, committed relationship takes a lot more actions, not words. This happens often. Some men use beautiful words to keep you emotionally tied while they are still figuring out if they want something serious. They say what you want to hear, make you feel special. But when it comes time to take responsibility, they pull back. And this is exactly where you must be wise. Words without matching actions are just poetry, not reality. So, yes, be happy when a man says something meaningful, but stay alert. Watch carefully to see if his behavior matches his words. Other phrases are just as revealing. For example, when a man says, "I've never met anyone like you," If he truly means it, it shows that you've broken the mold for him. You don't fit into any of his past categories. You've brought something new, real, and unexpected into his life. Men, even if you don't think so, often carry a mental list of their ideal partner. When you show up and shake up that list with your intelligence, your authenticity, and your unique way of being, you stay in his mind. But again, context matters. If he says it on a first date while trying to get you into bed, it's likely just a rehearsed line. But if he says it after truly getting to know you, after real conversations, shared experiences, and seeing you in different situations, it carries real weight. Another powerful phrase is, "I trust you." It may sound simple, but trust is a big deal for men. Emotionally, it's hard for them to open up. They might have many friends, but real trust is rare. So when a man tells you he trusts you, he is giving you access to a very special space. He sees you as safe, someone who won't use his vulnerability against him. In a man's world, that is extremely valuable. Of course, there's the classic phrase many women wait to hear, "I like you," or "I love you." But here's the caution. These words have often lost meaning through overuse. Many people say them without truly feeling them because they think they're supposed to at a certain stage. So don't focus only on the words themselves, but on when he says them, how he says them, and above all, how he treats you when he doesn't say them. Love isn't a constant high, an endless romantic thrill. Real love is shown on ordinary days, in small choices, in moments of tiredness, in choosing each other, even when it's not easy or exciting. Another statement I find revealing is, "I want to meet your family," or "I want you to meet mine." That's about bringing you in. It's a step out of the small bubble of just the two of you into a bigger world. Men don't casually include family in casual relationships. If he invites you to meet family, it shows he sees you as someone who could be part of his life. But don't assume marriage in your mind just because of a family dinner. Take it as a positive sign that should be backed up by many other signs showing you're moving in the same direction. A question I hear often is, how long does it take to know if a man is serious? There's no fixed timeline. Some men know after 3 months. Others still don't know after 2 years. But here's the key. You set your timeline. You don't have to wait forever. You can clearly say, "I want a serious, committed relationship. If you want the same, great. If not, that's fine. But I won't wait endlessly while you decide." That's not pressure. It's clarity and self-respect. And now comes something that might sound harsh, but it's true. If a man genuinely wants something with you, he doesn't need years to figure it out. He doesn't need to find himself while you wait. That's just an excuse. A mature man who knows what he wants acts when he meets a woman who truly interests him. He may not propose after a month, but he leaves no doubt that he wants to build something with you. He brings you into his life, talks about future plans, and shows through his actions that he sees you as more than a temporary option. So, if you've been with someone for months or even years who still doesn't know if he wants something serious, let me tell you, gently but clearly, he knows exactly what he wants. He just doesn't want it with you. Maybe he wants companionship, comfort, or convenience. But when it comes to a real relationship, he's looking elsewhere. And in the meantime, you're putting your time and emotions into someone who isn't truly choosing you. How much longer, my dear reader, will you settle for crumbs when you deserve the whole feast? And before you go further, if this speaks to you, give this video a like and share it with a friend who needs to hear it. This is more than advice. It's a step toward change. The more women understand this, the less they will settle for mediocre relationships. Now, let's shift focus. I want to show you how to become the kind of woman that truly valuable men want. And I'm not talking about changing who you are or pretending to be someone else. I mean strengthening the best parts of yourself. One thing is certain. You cannot control a man's choices. You cannot make him appreciate or choose you, but you can control who you are, how you show up, and the energy you give off. And trust me, that changes everything. Step 1, work on your self-worth. And I don't mean the shallow kind based on likes and compliments. I mean a deep inner sense of value. A woman with healthy self-worth doesn't need constant validation. She doesn't check her phone every 5 minutes for a text. She doesn't read meaning into silence. She knows her worth whether he acknowledges it or not. That inner certainty is magnetic. It draws mature men and pushes away the immature ones, exactly what you want. How do you build that self-worth? Not overnight, and not with a couple of affirmations in front of a mirror. It's built through steady self-care. Treat yourself well, speak kindly to yourself, and make yourself a priority. Your brain notices step by step and begins to believe you're truly valuable. That's your brain rewiring itself in action. Your thoughts and actions literally reshape your brain. Each time you protect yourself, each time you set a boundary, you strengthen self-respect.